Jaya Radha Madhava Kunja Bihari. Gopi Jana Vallabha Girivaradhari. Gopi Jana Vallabha Girivaradhari. Jashodanandana Vrajajana Ranjana. Jashodanandana Vrajajana Ranjana. Jamuna Tira Vanachari. Jamuna Tira Vanachari. Jaya Radha Madhava Kunja Bihari. Gopi Jana Vallabha Girivaradhari. Jashodanandana Vrajajana Ranjana. Jamuna Tira Vanachari. Jaya Radha Madhava Kunja Bihari. Gaur Premanande, Jai Vishnupada Paramahamsa, Hare ISKCON Divine Grace, Lazy Bhaktivedanta, Swami Śrīmad Bhāgavatam ki Jai, Śrīla Prabhupada ki Jai, Nitya Jai Vishnupada Paramahamsa, Hare ISKCON Divine Grace, La Bhaktivedanta Goswami Śrīla Prabhupada ki Jai, Ananta Koti Vaishnavrinda ki Jai, Granthra Śrīmad Bhāgavatam ki Jai, Nitai Gaur Premanande. All glories to the assembled devotees, all glories to the assembled devotees, all glories to the assembled devotees, glories to Sri Guru and Sri Gauranga, all glories to Prabhupada. Hare Krishna. Reading from Śrīmad Bhāgavatam, Canto 9, Chapter 18, Text 41. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. I can't see that well, the glasses. Turva Shush Sodasha Patputra. Thanks. Turva Shodita Putra Pitra. Druyas Whis Chanusya Bharata. Druyas Chanusya Bharata. Pratyachakyur Adharmagya. Pratyachakyur Adharmagya. Hyanitye Nitya Buddhaya. Hyanitya nitya buddhaya Durvashushadita pitra Druyushchanushcha bharata Pratyachakyo adharmagya Hyanitya nitya buddhaya Turvashu, another son. Chodita, requested. Pitra, by the father, to exchange old age and invalidity for his youth. Come on, wake up. Dryu, another son. Cha, and Anu, another son. Cha, also. Bharata, O King Parikshit. Pratyachabhya, refused to accept. Adharmagya, because they did not know religious principles. He, indeed, anitya, temporary youth. Nitya, buddhaya, thinking to be permanent. For translation, O Maharaj Parikshit, Yayati similarly requested his sons Turvashu, Dryu, and Anu to exchange their youth for his old age. But because they were unaware of religious principles, they thought that their flickering youth was eternal, and therefore they refused to carry out their father's order. Next verse. Translation. King Yayati then requested Puru, who was younger than these three brothers, but more qualified. My dear sons, do not be disobedient like your older brothers, for that is not your duty. Next verse. Puru replied, O your majesty, who in this world can repay his debt to his father? By the mercy of one's father, one gets the human form of life, which can enable one to become an associate of the Supreme Lord. Purport. Father gives the seed of the body, and this seed gradually grows and develops until one ultimately attains the developed human body. With consciousness higher than that of the animals, in the human body, one can be elevated to the higher planets. And furthermore, if one cultivates Krishna consciousness, one can return home back to Godhead. This important human body is obtained by the grace of the Father, and therefore everyone is indebted to his Father. Of course, in other lives, one also gets a father and another, and mother. Even cats and dogs have father and mothers. But in the human form of life, the father and mother can award their son the greatest benedictions by teaching him to become a devotee. When one becomes a devotee, he achieves the greatest benediction because he completely averts the repetition of birth and death. Therefore, father who trains his child in Krishna consciousness in the most benevolent father in this world, it is said, Janame hai pita mata pai, Krishna guru nahi mile bhaja hari hai. Everyone gets a father and mother. But if one gets the benediction of Krishna and Guru, he can conquer material nature and returns home back to Godhead. That's so nice. Especially this instruction, particularly for the parents. I hope you're listening, because it's all about bringing up our children in Krishna consciousness. If you don't have children, then you become Krishna conscious. We're all, like Jesus said, we're son of God. We're all son of God. So the idea is to become Krishna conscious. And you can become Krishna conscious in the animal form. That's clear. Only in the human body. So how lucky we are to have the human body. And we find so many things to do apart from becoming Krishna conscious. And to actually be Krishna conscious, one had to be trained, like Prabhupada said, from early age, as a child. That's why we have, Gurukul. And if we don't have a Gurukul, this whole Krishna consciousness is a school to train ourselves to be Krishna conscious. Said, I didn't go to Gurukul. I only joined when I was 50. But the training is always there for us, and any age of life, whether you're a child or not. So here they wanted to exchange the old age. The father wanted to exchange the old age from the younger son, so he can enjoy the body. But that's not in the scripture. That's the whole idea. And the children, they argue. He said that's not scriptural to do that. But we don't actually ask that because we don't have the power to hand over your young age to the father, the old, so he can enjoy. That's not allowed. Even if it is allowed, then your father will have to remain again, come back again. In either case, we have to become Krishna conscious and get out of this world as soon as possible. So if you delay that process, that's why the scriptural injunction is not allowed to hand over your young age to your old father, so he can have a new body. Because the son also knows, he's trained in a nice way in Krishna consciousness, he knows that his father is going to and stay here longer. So everybody has to share their Krishna consciousness for the benefit of others. It's not such thing that we can stay here forever and live a good life. This will come to an end. Everything has to come to an end. You can't stay forever young. In fact, old age is actually good because, at least in old age, we are reminded that the futile, the body, as it falls apart, that's Krishna's arrangement, that's there because then at that time at least we can take to God consciousness. So if we are young forever, we're never going to take to Krishna consciousness. Isn't it? You see, I mean, we are a handful of us here, but the whole world, they're just thinking, oh, I have so much time. I'm young now. Let me enjoy. Even those who are not devotees, materialistic people, there's a little bit of God consciousness will creep in when they are turned old. They'll realize, what is this old age? Why I'm not young forever? There's some realization will come. But young people, if they don't have Krishna consciousness, they'll never think of turning to God. Unless they're very fortunate, or they're born in a devotee family. That's why it is specially meant this knowledge is for devotees. If we go around, and don't understand, practice Krishna consciousness from young age, that is very unfortunate. Janiya Shuniya Visha Kainu. It's like knowingly drinking the poison. We have the knowledge, and you don't act on it, you're knowingly drinking the poison. Of course, people who are ignorant, people don't have knowledge, they're totally in ignorance, then for them it's different. But for those who have knowledge, we have to practice Krishna consciousness very seriously. And devotees can be very strict about this. Like we don't have the jealousness. Like we don't think, oh, when I was young, we don't talk like that. And I used to be able to do this. Then you have to take birth again in this material world. Because you have so many desires. All our desires connected to this body. And this body is going to come to an end. That's the very nature of this material body. And that's why Krishna explains in the Bhagavad Gita, in the beginning of the Bhagavad Gita, in the second chapter, you're not this body. How many times do we have to tell ourselves that? I'm not this body. If you can get over this principle that you're not this body, what do you want to talk about love of God and Krishna and Ras Leela and different pastimes of Krishna and ecstasies of love of Godhead? If we don't understand the basic principle that you're not this body. We're attached to this body. There's no question of talking about higher principles of devotional service. Isn't it? That's why these children, they knew that Krishna conscious principle from young age. They said, no, it's not in the scripture to give my young body to you. Okay, you understand, you are a father, but that's not in this book. Nowadays, even if it's a book, they don't follow anyway. If we had the power to give our young age to our father, we will go. And if the child is Krishna conscious, he can hand over so he can get old and go back to God quickly. And he will stay here. But we don't have that kind of a desire to stay here. We want to leave this world. We are Ananda Maya Vyasat. The living entities by nature are seeking for happiness. We're looking for happiness. But we are looking for happiness in the wrong place. Prabhupada could give you an example of a fish. You take the fish out of the water, if you give him everything material. Everything a human being can have, you can give it to fish, but we know that fish doesn't belong on the land. They belong in the sea, in the water. So similarly, we don't belong here. You can have your young body. Trees also have young body. They can live for hundreds of years. But what is such the value of that, such kind of a lifestyle? So you have a young body, but then we are not better than any trees, because the purpose of human life is to cultivate love of God. If you're not doing that, What's the difference? You and a tree or somebody who's not serving Krishna. If you can have a long life, young body, if you're going to serve Krishna, Krishna will give you that. He can. You have the 4 Kumaras. 4 Kumaras. They're eternally youthful. Because they want to serve Krishna. They don't want to get involved in the material life. When you are a child, like 5 years old, you don't have that material desire like adult has it. That's the reason why they want to remain young forever, so they can have that innocency of serving Krishna. That's spiritual desire. And if you can actually have that kind of innocency desire as an adult, that's fine. But in the material world, we don't have that. Desires, they grow into adulthood, and we were seeking for material happiness. But material happiness will not make you happy. You can see that today. Today is the example. People have everything. We come here from India. We can have, so many of my friends, Indian devotees, they have big house and everything you need, job, family life, children. But how many are really happy? Only you're happy because you have japa, you have Hare Krishna, you have books, you can come to program. That's the only thing actually making you happy. Not those big homes or material or car or material things will not make you happy. More than anything, we love our body, isn't it? You can have everything, but if your body is not functioning, if you're sick, you can enjoy anything that is surrounding you, not even your home. So the most important thing is health. Healthy body. Like when I first joined, there was not much to eat. Now we have too much to eat and I can't eat. Because body is like too old. They give me sweets, halwa, so many sweets. Oh, no thanks. I'll get diabetes or something or the other. Previously when I first joined Hare Krishna at a young age, there's hardly any food. But we are happy that time because Prabhupada was here. Because we are ecstatic in chanting Hare Krishna. It's not the food, it's not the material life or material facilities. It will never make you happy. When you go to take shower here, you have a nice warm shower, hot bath. He doesn't come out of the bath like you in there enjoying. If it's cold shower, you get out quickly and you get to the mandir. But when there's enjoyment, we prefer Krishna. You understand what I'm saying? So Kunti Devi said, please, oh Krishna, give me those miseries more and more so I can remember you. We don't pray that because we think everything is fine here. We are asking Krishna, please take away misery so I can enjoy. But we should ask Krishna, please allow me to remember you. Any condition. We're not asking for material miseries or anything. We can ask Krishna, please allow me to remember you, allow me to serve you. Give me good health so I can serve you. Asking Krishna for good health is not Maya, because then he can have a healthy body so you can serve him. Srila Prabhupada, he used to go for morning walk every day, wherever he went. Massage for hours. We don't even have time for that. But it's not Maya, so you can have a healthy body, so you can serve Krishna. But sometimes what happens is when you have a healthy body, you think, I don't need God anymore, I'm okay. We pray to Krishna for material things, and when you get it, you forget Krishna. So Krishna knows us more than we know ourselves. He will give you, and there's limit. Okay, this is the amount he will get, not too much, because you'll forget him. He's merciful towards us. Most important thing for a devotee is to be Krishna conscious. Any material things will not make you happy. You see today, people have everything, but people are not happy. And when the old age comes, they don't know what to do with their life. They just turn the TV on, in front of TV all day. We know that old age is a time when you completely serve Krishna. You read books. I know one old lady from Gujarat actually, very old. She was the grandson, their son, they gave the lady a book, notebook. They write Ram, Ram all day. Whole book, another notebook. Just Ram, Ram. That's nice. That's what you do when you're old. Go to the temple, sit here, serve Chanamita. That's fantastic. You don't have to work. You're old. That's the time to go back to Godhead. So if you have a young body, we are now going to have that enthusiasm to serve Krishna like that. So everything that Krishna created, there's a reason for it. Why did Krishna create old age? That's why. Ultimately, we have to become Krishna conscious in this manushya, this human form of life. That is the only purpose. It's not for us to come here and live a good life, earn money, have a family. Like it says here, cat and dog also have a family. In fact, better family than you. So many children. Fish, one time they can have 1,000 eggs. So the idea is to be Krishna conscious. If we can have 1,000 children, if they're all going to be like Prahlad Maharaj, fine, have. If we can make one child Krishna conscious, then what's the point? So it's the parent's duty to make your children Krishna conscious. The way to do it, you become Krishna conscious. Apane achar, then prachar. First you become Krishna conscious yourself, then others will follow. There is no force in it. It's love. Pure love is when you can make others Krishna consciousness by your example, isn't it? For your example, people say, oh, I want to be like that devotee, I want to be like that parent, I want to be like that kid. It's not that we are dull people. We are seeing each other, how everyone is acting and behaving. Isn't it? So it's all about, Krishna consciousness is all about training. Like today, it's public holiday, and you think, oh, so nice, I can sleep in, stay home, have a good break. But if you're thinking, life is short, let me take this opportunity to go to the temple. Chant Hare Krishna, associated devotees. The devotees is always seeking to be Krishna conscious, somehow or another. Any opportunity that they find, they want to use that time to serve Krishna. Because the rest of the time, we don't have time. Everyone's so busy. So when you get a little bit of time, let me go to the temple. Or even at home, let me get up, husband, wife, read Bhagavatam to each other. I mean, I stayed one Grihastha's house as a brahmachari, long time ago. Just want to get away from ashram. So they would go to the husband, wife, they go to their work, they say, you stay back and take our dog for a walk. I did anything to get away from ashram. The ashram was too fanatical. So then I said, they trained me how to cook chapatis and sabji. So I'd cook for them. They would come home. They both were doctors. They'd come home. The prasadam was ready. And they had a temple room on the top floor. And Radha Krishna deity, I would offer them, I cook, and they would come, and I didn't do the housework, only cooking. I said, that's too much, you have to pay me for that. So then, they didn't have time to sit together, husband, wife, and read Bhagavatam or chant. They didn't have time, they were so busy. I saw that personally, because I stayed in their home. And they had 2 daughters, they're also working. And they're never at home. They're off somewhere with someone, I don't know what. They have one car, they just go, bye-bye, they're like, and they're devotee's daughter. I'm saying this because we have to be practical to be Krishna conscious. Sometimes you're not strict enough with your children. So when they grow up, And sometimes you're too strict. They say, oh, you're too strict. Let me do what I want to do. But if you are a good child, you can accept that hardship because that's training you to be Krishna conscious. You have to accept. If you think, my parents are too strict with me. Maya also very strict. Every day you go out, work like a dog. Better your parents tell you, go to the temple, chant Hare Krishna, sit in the temple, look at the deity, attend the program. That's nice. And if you want to go, leave the parents, fine. You go out, you work all day like an animal, and earn money, you can have your car, but to pay for all this. And you forget Krishna. So the guru, the spiritual master, the parents are like your guru. They're telling you to be Krishna conscious. So if you're a good child, you accept that hardship, so it's training you to be Krishna conscious. And I had that training. I never lived with my parents. Childhood, from the age of 5, I was in Gurukul. My mother was Brahmacharya ashram. Gurukul, 5 years age. And very strict those days in the 70s. Now we're like everyone doing whatever they like. Those days very strict. And here I am. Because of training we have in a young age, you're going to be Krishna conscious. Whatever the training you have, when you get older, that's going to reflect on you. That's going to carry you to your spiritual life, if you have the spiritual training. Whatever you are, businessman, whatever, you still have to have training. It doesn't fall on your plate. You have to work hard for life. Right now they said, oh, you Indians, we work hard for our livelihood. We don't go to the government or give you money. In India there's beggars everywhere. Here they're all beggars because they go to the government for money. We Indian, we work hard. We have PhDs, CEOs, computer graphic designer, and whatever else. I know all the things. We're not begging for money. We work hard for it. So similarly, to work hard for Krishna, so spiritual life. They said, no, you Indians, he's just an Uber driver. No, it's more than that. That's just part-time to earn some extra money. So, we have to put the same effort to be Krishna conscious. You can't deny old age. Birth, death, old age, disease. This is going to come. That is part of life. But a devotee is not distracted by those things because his focus is on Krishna. He's not spending all day looking themselves in the mirror. How I look, how my hair is, how it's not this way, it should be sideways, stuff like that. Don't tell me I don't know these things. We are pretty much conscious of ourselves. And then we're chanting Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna. We're conscious of ourselves, how we look, But we have to see how Krishna conscious we are becoming or not. In the temple this morning, we're having kirtan. I'm the only one dancing. Everyone's having a good time, no, I don't want to dance, my leg hurts. I have a sore throat. I was doing too much prajalpa last night. Like that. So you use the energy to serve Krishna, and Krishna will give you more energy. If you have that intention to serve Krishna, you can pray to Him, He will give you young age. Even when you are 100 years old, you still look young. Krishna can give you. Dhruva Maharaj. Dhruva Maharaj, he was 5 years old. And Krishna gave him a planet to live in a whole planet, Dhruvaloka. And that planet happened to be in the material world, and it's eternal. He can give you, if you want those things. If you want money, He can give you. Millionaire. Dhruva Maharaj, he said, I don't want these things. He says, this material wealth is like broken pieces of glass. But because of his detachment, Krishna gave him more. When you can see all the material things, including your healthy body, but you don't have time to look at your body, you're so busy serving Krishna. Then, for such person, Krishna will give you so much material things because he didn't have time for enjoy that. And I have a big place. You drove me there. But I am hardly there, I'm always here. Every day I'm here. Only time I'm there is when I have to sleep. You have 5 bedroom, 2nd floor. How many rooms can you sleep in? And only one. So we are not the enjoyer. You can pray to Krishna, please Krishna, make me young so I can enjoy. Krishna is not going to give you that. It's not his job to give you young body so you can go around, ha ha ha, enjoyment. But if you pray to Krishna, please make me healthy so I can serve you, so I can dance and sing forever, go on Harinam, give me good eyesight so I can read your books, then he will. But we don't pray to Krishna for material things. You have to work at it. When Krishna sees you, your real intention actually to serve him, and he'll give you material things. But if you ask for him material things, he knows that's what you want. You don't want him, you want material things. Just like people get married. They want to make sure the guy is strong and healthy, he has some money, he has a home, right? He's secure your life. They check these things, how educated you are, that you could support a wife. That's okay, understandable. But if we read from the, Gandhari. Gandhari, she didn't know who she's going to marry to. Dhritarashtra was blind. Originally in the Indian times, or the Vedic times, they would marry without like an arranged marriage. He didn't know. Now you can just check yourself in the phone. Hey, hi, you've done everything before you're married. And when you're married, there's no respect for each other. But that's why arranged marriage is good. Samajh? There's a system for everything. It's not like it's all made up. And when she saw her husband's going to be a blind guy, she voluntarily covered her eyes. Nowadays, they check your body, you don't have one extra finger, or you don't have a finger, or your toe is broken, or look for someone else. That's the Vedic time, because they go by the Vedic rules. If the book says that, if the Bhagavatam says the principles like that, they follow that instead of material things. They don't depend on material situation. They see what's in the scripture. That's what it says here. It's just like Western people, they say, oh, your Ganga, your water is filthy. Dirty is dead body flowing and it's filthy water. But in India, we drink the water from the Ganga. We worship. We know the purity. But they don't understand that principle. They're ignorant. They only see the external point. And Rupa Goswami said, the water of the Ganges, even though Gangang Bhasam Nakala Budbud Fena Fankai, that there is foam and mud on top of the Ganges, but despite such filthiness, the purity remains pure of the water of the Ganges. But they don't understand that. They only see the external side. So if we have spiritual knowledge, you can see both balance. But if you don't have spiritual knowledge, you only see the material side, the enjoyment propensity side. So you have to have the knowledge. Then you can you can live your life with knowledge. Then you're not affected by material life. So when the old age comes, this is the natural progression of life, and you go along with it. It's time for me to serve Krishna. Body is falling apart. Let me sit down in the temple. I can't run anymore. Okay, sit. Mandir mein beto. Sit in the temple, chant. That's why Krishna created old age. If you have a lot of hair, you're going to comb all the time, spend all your time combing it. So hair fall apart, that's fine. You don't have time to hair anymore. You can just look at Krishna. I'm not talking for ladies, men. You need a bit of hair. Stuff like that. I'm not angry, I'm saying in a jolly, happy way. Because somebody said, recently you're giving really heavy lectures. But I'm not. I'm not saying, the book's saying. And the whole time I'm smiling. I didn't get angry. One of our devotees said, he recently been really like, I told him, how many times have you been to class? He said, I saw it online. You gave him a case that not even here in the class. You know what I mean? We were checking each other out. But if each other can give us the association to be Krishna conscious and make spiritual advancement together, that is good thing. Like a husband and wife. If you're in a home and you're just bickering with each other, then you better go to the temple, it's better. Go to join the ashram. It's a better place. Right? So, husband, wife, children, we're together to create that harmony, happiness. If there is fire all the time, that's going to create a negative atmosphere. So, devotee's home is a mandir, a temple where situation is so sweet. It's a temple with your children doing arati, offering food. You know, it's nice. So you have to train the children. And then you sit down to eat, you don't even say the samsa, you don't say the Sarira Vijay prayers. The children remind you, Papa, he didn't send the prayers, you're going and eating it. He didn't offer the food. So you have to be exemplary for your own children. So you have children because they're in turn giving they're allowing you to be Krishna conscious. So there is a spiritual relationship. They're not your children, it's Krishna's, everything's Krishna's. When you die, they're going to die also. You can't be stuck together forever. You know, there's some trees, they're stuck together. There's two different trees because they're so attached, they come back as a tree. One's white, one's black, they're stuck together like this. Lata. So I asked the devotee what is, they said because they were too attached to each other, so they come back as a twin, or they come back as a tree, they come back as they're connected together. They can't leave. So if you're maturely attached, that's fine. But if you don't put Krishna in the middle, you're going to have to come back again in the same relationship, in a material life. Sometimes we're sick of each other. That's fine, because that's okay, because then it creates detachment. I'm not saying that you should, and I've seen people who are 90, they are still walking around a high heel shoe, lipstick. Come on. It's time to go to the mandir. Isn't it? Walking with a dog. In India, not even old. Husband get up, they're doing puja, Mataji is cooking for the deity. They're not even devotees. It's cultural. She'll go to the Jamuna, take a bath in the sari, come back, wet, do puja. Don't think they're in ISKCON. They're doing it by family tradition. That's all cultural. If you don't have the spiritual knowledge, you're going to think, my body. Because that's how you're trained to see the material things. That's why spiritual life means to cultivate knowledge, to see both completely in a balanced way, spiritually, through knowledge. Sastra chakshus, the eyes, the scriptural eyes. Whatever you do, if you don't have Krishna consciousness, if you don't have knowledge, it's blind knowledge. It's only andakopa. Like it says, blind person fall in the well. That's grihastha life. So what I'm saying is, even this man, this happened many years ago, other yugas. It's not like Kali Yuga. This happened in Treta Yuga, Satya Yuga, where one can exchange the body. That's why he asked for his son to give his young body to him, because that time it was possible. We don't ask, I'm now 60, can you give me your body? Because we don't have that power to do it. If we have, everybody would be shifting and swapping. And Bhagavan, forget. Nobody will think of God anymore. So everything is there in the scripture for our benefit, so we can serve Krishna. The idea is to be Krishna conscious. If we take Krishna away, you can see the world today, right now. Kali Yuga is supposed to last for 432,000 years. We're only 5,000 years into it. And look at it, so much suffering. War everywhere. Everyone's barely holding the life. Economical pressure. Everyone's holding just barely. You can't walk down the street, somebody come and stab you. Every day in the news, every day. They park your car, they run off with it, they crush your body, go over you. There's just so much danger. Here in Melbourne. And there's war going in Europe, Russia, India, practically on the verge of war with other countries. Everything is just on the verge. America, they got a lunatic president. They're fighting with friends. I'm saying openly because everyone is saying, not just me. This is the Kali Yuga. It says in the book, in the scriptures, previously there was kings. There were Raja Rishis, saintly kings. They used to make everyone follow the religious principles. Now we have Pagal Lok, that managing of the world. Crazies. So if somebody who is in the position to spread Krishna consciousness, if they are nuts, they're going to make the whole world nuts. Understand? So it has to start from the top. Krishna says in Bhagavad Gita, whatever a great man does, common man will follow his footsteps. The guy, he says, you all the country go to hell. That's what he said in the United Nations. You saw that? How can he say that? If you tell your friend, you're going to hell. You haven't begun the speech yet. That's what he said. First thing he said that. You're going to hell, all your country. That's the United Nations, where they have a meeting. It's like all of us come together, all of you are going to hell. That started the Bhagavatam class. How do you feel? And the next thing I said, why don't you come to the temple? Obviously. So, this is the kind of leaders we have today. So mundane. We elect such leaders. Vote for me, just so I can tell you where you're at. So, we go for Guru, Sadhu, Shastra, Scriptures, for Krishna. We run after Krishna. Because Krishna says, I can protect you. I can give you a good life. I can give you everything you want. He didn't just promise, vote me. He says in the Bhagavad Gita. And when Krishna says this, he is not just saying it. He has the power to give you. He is the owner of everything. So when we become very strong and powerful, full of wealth, we'll forget you. So we get carried away by material things. We forget Krishna. But those who are spiritually minded, those who are pure, sadhus, Vaishnava, they can be surrounded by wealth because they know every bit of it belongs to Krishna. They're not affected by all this material situation they're in. That's why Queen Kunti said. Queen Kunti had a blessing from demigod to have a young body forever. She was a young girl. When at the age of 70, 80, she still looked like 16. She had a blessing. You know that? And Yudhishthira Maharaj is the elder brother of the Pandavas. So Yamaraj asked Yudhishthira Maharaj, your mother, she's very young. You feel attracted to her or not? I mean, what kind of question to ask someone that? So that's what he asked. Because Yudhishthira Maharaj is very, very intelligent and very honest, very pure. He said, yes, I do. If somebody asked me, like, I wouldn't, I'd probably lie. I said, no, I don't, even though you do. He said. So then he said, then what do you do about it? He said, nothing. Nothing. So, it's not that we are not attracted to Maya, but we don't have time for it. Because we have to observe in Krishna consciousness. We become Krishna conscious, we observe in Krishna. We can see all the things around you, but you don't have time for it. You can't deny that attachment for material things, but then you don't act on it. Let's go for it. For Maya. Because we don't have time for Maya. We have so busy. That's why we have to occupy ourselves in serving Krishna all the time. Keep ourselves busy serving Krishna. Today is a public holiday. Chalo, let's go see a movie. We don't do that. We go to the temple. Chant extra rounds. 16 rounds finished, do more. We haven't finished Bhagavatam. Read more. 2nd canto, 3rd canto. I moved in the ashram for the weekend, so I have more time. Tomorrow is going to be initiation, next day Vyasa Puja. So nice. We have so much opportunity to be Krishna conscious. And we're just brushing it off over our face. Whole life goes before our eyes. Before you know it, kya kya. It's time to die, man. You're old. I wasted my life. You know those when they had the 9/11 in America? I was actually in devotee's house when this was happening in Hong Kong. The airplane flew into the building, and people were jumping from the window. Yeah, you could see it live. Everyone was watching it. Everyone was powerless to help them. With all the technology, everything, they couldn't help them. There's nothing you can do. They were dying. They were jumping off the window from 100-story building. They would die before they hit the ground because the soul goes. They can't handle the speed. And they were saying, I wasted my life. Too late. Don't think this happens to them. It can happen to us too. We don't know. Life is uncertain. We can walk out right now. Anything can happen. The other morning, I woke up and this part here was all numb. I couldn't move my tongue. I was thinking, oh my God, Krishna, please. I was like, no, I talk big things, philosophy, but it was happening to me. Then I was thinking, oh wow, I don't want to be paralyzed. Like Hare Prabhu, he has a Parkinson. I said, oh please Krishna, I need to play Mridanga, play Kartal, I cook. And then suddenly it went good. I said, oh thank you. Like we can have material things, but when the misery strike on you, then you know, God, Bhagavan kidhar hai? Where is Krishna? Where is Krishna? We have to be serious about spiritual life. And we are so lucky we have this knowledge. We are so lucky we have your Guru to tell you, to lead you in the spiritual directions. You can take shelter of Hare Krishna mantra. We are so lucky. That's why I said in the beginning of the class, Vijaniya Shuniya Vishakainu. Don't ignore it. Take this process seriously. Last night I was talking, me and Jack were in the room. There's about 4 of us in the room, and 2 of them, they snore, and they had gone to catering. So I was thinking, well, I can sleep here peacefully. Him and me. So he doesn't snore. We both had a good sleep. And then I had a Bhagavatam class, 2 o'clock in the morning online from Africa. And so I got up to speak at 2 o'clock, and they said, it's not today, it's tomorrow. because it's one day before in the US. So I was so angry. So I said, next time you have to clarify it. It was tomorrow, 27th. So it falls midnight, it goes into next day. So you can get confused. So I thought, what the heck. I went to sleep. 10 minutes later, your alarm goes. So I had to get up. So what happens, like when you're associated in a devotee or in an ashram, in a devotee environment, they remind you of Krishna. You don't have time to enjoy. That's why we do. That's why we voluntarily live in the austerity life. Tapadivyam. In scripture, it is said, a devotee performs austerity. Because the austerity can make you Krishna conscious. If everything is enjoying, we will not remember Krishna. So one thing or the other. And then I ran to the bathroom, and behind me was 2 other people coming. So then that's what happens. When they see you are serious in practicing Krishna consciousness, people will follow you. If you sleep in, everybody will sleep in. Before, you remember, Brahmacharya ashram was Prasadam hall one time. I came here from Sydney, and I got up really late, around 7 o'clock. And I was still in my gamsha, and I was going to take bath in the shower is back there. So everybody's chanting japa, and they said, look at you. You're in big maya. Those days, like, you had to really get up. So the devotees, they help you to be Krishna conscious. It's not that they're telling you off, they help you to Krishna conscious. When the children become Krishna conscious, because the parents are very nice to them. They tell them in a very nice way. Okay, you go to the Mangalarti, I'll make a cake for you. I offer to Krishna. I don't know if they do that. So somehow you have to make an arrangement to make your children Krishna conscious. I joined ISKCON at the age of 6. At that time, our Hare Krishna ISKCON was very tough. No hot shower. You have to take hand pump. And one boy hand pump, you go under it. Cold water coming out in the winter. Hare Krishna, enough. He barely took a nice bath yet, and then he had to get out. And we had to get in the line exactly like 10 minutes before Mangalarti. We had to line up outside the ashram. And you had to be, if you're in the shower, before the actual time is still up, it's still in the shower, you're in big trouble. Everybody had to be in the ashram at a particular time, be dressed, tilak on, and in the line outside the door, ready to go to the temple. So strict. And then, when you sit down to take prasadam, we're all sitting down, not allowed to talk. And here, everybody start talking while they're eating. All the things you never talk, you finally talk when you're eating. They even have a meeting when you're eating. So they have a teacher in front of us. So if you speak, they make you stand up. So they come around second, they don't serve you. Yeah, so you go hungry. That's how strict they were. I'm telling you these things because this will inspire you. And all my friends were from America. So I was the first Gurukul Bengali boys from Vrindavan Gurukul. So they said, you want to taste something really nice? I said, what? He said, chocolate. Chocolate powder. They got it from the US in a packet. I said, oh, give me a little bit of that. Like, I never had it. So we're not allowed to have chocolate. It's banned. So we sat down, prasadam together. We have a lota, you know lota? The big neck, and nobody knows what's in it because it's very big lota. And so my friend and I were sitting. We already put chocolate powder inside. in the ashram. We were keeping it in our suitcase. And we put a little bit of it. Me and him were a good friend. And then they're serving hot milk. They put hot milk in the lota. They're not thinking what's in it. It's dark and light's not too bright. And they were drinking. I said, "That tastes good, eh?" And I was like, "Yeah, it's really good." That's the first time I had chocolate. So there's, and then if you want to take a hot shower in Vrindavan, those days in the 80s, you had to get up really early. And they have this metal thing, when you put in the bucket, and it heats up the water. So if you put in the metal bucket, they get electrocuted. So we put in the plastic bucket, and the damn thing, when it melted, the bucket melted. So, and then I said, I might as well take cold shower. So much endeavor to enjoy. And then we quick cold shower, and out, we put tilak, we go to the mandir. We don't muck around. So sometimes the suffering, you're quick with it. You turn to Krishna. The enjoyment is much more hardship. Just for a little bit of enjoyment, there's so much hard work to go in it. By the end, you're just frustrated. That's what it leads to. Enjoyment leads to frustration, isn't it? So anyway, I'm just saying these things, how fragile the material body is. We try so hard to enjoy this body, but it's very limited, very limited. You sit down to eat, and you see so many types of food. Your eyes going big, like, wow, I want to eat all that. So you're serving, you can't concentrate to serve the devotees. So it's like, I want to save a plate also. So you make your plate like a Govardhan hill. A hill of food. So when you sit down to eat, halfway are already full. We're not the enjoyer. In every way, we think ourselves to be an enjoyer, but we are not. So when you have less, that he feels much better. We have not so many things. It's just easy to manage yourself. Life's easy. The more you have, more attachment, more entanglement, and more frustrating, more complicated. So less you have, it's easy to get out. It's simple. Like when you travel light, small bag, not too much. And I've seen people struggling the whole time. I'm just going with a small bag. So I feel so happy, I feel so good. Light. So don't drag yourself with desire, possessions, and this on and on, material things will not satisfy you. It just drag you down, more weight on you, weight in the heart, and the desire. Material desire is unlimited. So just keep yourself simple, chant Hare Krishna, study Prabhupada's books, and take just a little bit of prasadam. Be happy spiritually. Don't seek material things from material things. Seek only spiritual things. The only thing can really satisfy us and our heart is spiritual things. Material thing will not. Very frustrated. That's the lesson we can get from this purport. Any questions? Microphone's right there.
Thank you, Prabhu, for the nice class. Prabhu, you mentioned whatever Krishna does, he has a purpose behind it. So I wanted to ask, why then did he create this material world with so much suffering? Like, can we have love for him and go back home, back to Godhead without going through any of the sufferings?
Yeah, the thing is, not everyone on the same platform. We can't say, your children, they are Prahlad Maharaj. Everyone is different. So the rules is for everyone differently. So we need to have principles. We need to chant Japa 16 rounds. We need to come to temple. These principles are there. If it's not, we will never follow at all. I am Suddha Bhakta, I am pure devotee. We call it PDS, pure devotee syndrome. So we have to practice. So Krishna, Srila Prabhupada, he said, If Prabhupada had a business, he had everything start to fall apart because Srila Prabhupada was meant to take sannyas and preach in America. So that's special mercy. But he doesn't do that from everyone, take everything away. Special mercy he'll take away. But then if you don't understand, he will criticize God. But he doesn't do to everyone. But those who are in knowledge, they will know this is Krishna's hand in it. Krishna is doing it for my sake, spiritual sake. For someone who is very attached to material thing, Krishna will not take away because he's going to be more angry. But he does in a different way. Some calamity or something. Samajgya, I understand now. So everything, Krishna is more understanding than us. So it's not that, you guys, you living entities in the material world, you don't like me? You don't want to serve me? Okay, I'll give you suffering. No, he doesn't do that. There's karma, you have to share. So there is a systematic laws of nature, material nature, that works in you. But for devotee, Krishna directly interacts with us. So when we are sick, we know it's purifying, Krishna's mercy. But all the people are not going to say that. They're going to say, how cruel the God is, making me suffer. So he doesn't do it to everyone. So everything has a way for our understanding. Okay?
Hare Krishna Prabhu, you mentioned in the earlier, in the beginning of the class, there was discussion about the kids and the realization early. We are getting the Krishna consciousness. So the point is, sometimes we realize when it's already too late, in the sense, we are getting the facilities even in childhood, and then we don't utilize, and later down the line, maybe there is a possibility that we will realize. So why is it so that some people will realize early in the life and some people will realize later in the life and some will not realize at all?
This is also mentions that due to their previous life, some may be fortunate to take to pious life or spiritual life due to their piety. Or some, they don't have that good fortune to turn to. Or some, maybe they get blessing from Guru or Vaishnava, and then they come forward. That's called Guru Kripa, the mercy of the spiritual master, like this Western people, like when Prabhupada, they join, they don't have the piety. They're not born in a Brahmin family and in India, but Prabhupada gave them the blessing. Or we don't know these things. Maybe they were in their past life. Perhaps they're just waiting for Prabhupada to come so they can join him. And Srila Prabhupada needed help in the US at that time. So they took their birth there so they can assist Prabhupada. This is how we say it. Just like when Krishna came, there were already demigods here, and they came in advance so they can prepare for Krishna's arrival. But that's a different thing. So in ordinary living entities, it's not a miracle that everyone takes to Krishna. There have to be some piety there from previous life. Like you have your brother and your parents, not everyone same level with you. Why you took? So there must be some credit there, spiritual credit from, if not this life, from previous life. Has to be. There's some connection. So that connection connects you in this life. So if someone, I know one person, he walked through the door, where's Krishna? Where's the books? Where's the devotees? He took up instantly. Maybe he was waiting for that. So it's mentioned, sometimes people left off, and then they start off from where they left off. Understand? So they're very serious. Some, they're just goofing off. Nay, not now, later, I'm not ready for it. They're waiting for some danda, some, something. Okay, I serve you. some miseries come, strike us, some distress in the family, then we turn to God. There's the 4 kinds of man come to, that for Bhagavad Gita it says. So we are very lucky that don't worry when we're going to take up, as long as we take up. Some people, I don't want to now, this time is not yet, much later, I'll take later, I'm not ready for it. But as long as they will come, Krishna is waiting for us. He's very merciful, He waits for us. Just like the story of the guru and a disciple. He had a disciple, he said, I need to go home. I see my young boy. And he said, after seeing parents, I'll come back to ashram. Then he came back. So then Guru went to see him. He said, no, I have to stay because I'm now at that age where I have to get married. So he got married. So the Guru said, okay, I'll wait for you. So the Guru waited, and then he went back to him. He said, no, I have to wait till my children are married, then I'll come to you. And so then he married them, he never came back. Waiting. So he went back to see him. And everybody at home was crying. They said, he died. You understand what I'm saying? So we wait. The Guru, Janme Prabhu said, he's waiting for us. He's our Guru forever. So don't make your Guru wait for you. Come to see him. So the Vaishnavas are very merciful. They're always there for waiting for us. But we never come because we are attached to family and material things. But they all go away eventually because we have to leave everything here. Only thing we have, that spiritual life, we don't take seriously. So there's a lot of things, there's karma. So I'm just saying this, so the Guru says, where is that person? So his meditation, he said, Guru saw him in his next life. He was very attached to that family. So they said, the Guru saw that guy was his ashram. He took birth as a snake. And the snake was, he was very attached to the hundi, where they keep the money. People previously used to keep money in home, in the safe. So they're under that, because it's attached to the money. So they said, that's your father. That snake is your father. They said, how can you say that? So they went to kill the snake. They said, no, don't kill, give it to me. So he took the snake home, ashram. And the snake was, the village people were throwing rocks at the snake. So he said, no, I'm a Vaishnava, I don't hurt people, I'm not violent. So what do? He said, you just show the fang and go after them, and they'll run away. I think that's Narada Muni, that disciple. So my point is, the spiritual master is always waiting for us, Vaishnavas. But some have a fortune to accept God consciousness very quickly, some are less, but sooner or later they will accept. But we have to have that strong desire as a Vaishnava. Paradukha dukhi. The devotees, they feel unhappy to see others unhappy, others suffering, they feel hurt. So if we have to genuinely have that desire in our heart, when we see other people suffering, we feel hurt. We don't feel that way. We always feel, oh, we're so good, I'm happy, that's enough. We don't care for other people. But Vaishnavas should be feeling genuinely unhappy in the heart to see others are unhappy. But we're not feeling that way all the time. We make sure we have, everything, materially, food, life, everything. Others, we don't care. So we actually have to genuinely have that feeling, So if we have that desire, others will come to Krishna. Even if they're ignorant, your blessing will go on to them because of your intense desire to serve, to bring them to Krishna. Even if they're ignorant, they will come to Krishna because of your desire. So ultimately we have to take the blame on ourselves. There's no pointing at others as a devotee, actually. You know, like right now everyone's pointing at each other, but actually it all comes down to you. If father or mother is sick, the son will think it's my fault. Maybe I did something wrong, so my karma is going to them. This is a good way to think. But we are always pointing at others, then no one is correct. So if we can see through the scriptures. So that's the karma. The karma is there, of course, but we can't just blame on karma. Oh, he's suffering, let him suffer because that's his karma. No. His house on fire, you get out of it. You try to save whoever's there. No, there's house on fire, let them burn. It's their karma. You try to save them as much as possible. Don't use it as karma as an excuse to hurt them even more. To try to save people and free them from the karma, the bondage of karma.
Thank you.
Anybody else?
I ask another question.
Yeah, sure.
So the question is related in the sense, when we become like familiar, when things are provided to us, we become familiar. Like even the spiritual life, if we get it early age, then we become too familiar and then we don't respect appropriately.
That's another thing. If we become proud, our spiritual advancement, that's going to be your problem. That's why you have the books here. We have the class, so we can remind ourselves. But let us become advanced spiritually. There's no excuse for that. It's like saying a poor man wants to become a millionaire, and then before you can get the money, you're going around, First you get the money, then you can think that. At least get it first. So let us be Krishna conscious at first. And then if you can be Krishna conscious and you get proud, that's later on. First let us get the progress. Understand? Don't go around, I've got it. First get it, then we can correct you. But first get it. We haven't got and still going around, I'm so advanced. That's going to be a problem. You know what I mean? So first become, none of us are purely advanced. But we're thinking, I'm so pure. But first get it, then if you have problem, purity, because when you are pure, you don't think that way. Pure people, they think I'm nothing. See Bhaktivedanta, Prabhupada, they think I'm just so humble servant of my Guru. Because that's the platform of a pure devotee. But if you're thinking, I'm so pure, I've devoted 50 years, you know what I mean? Then you're not pure. So, if you're pure, you wouldn't think that way. So, if those who are thinking that way, I'm so great, they haven't reached that pure platform. But doesn't mean those who are pure, they don't think like that. Even if they do, they hear class, they say, okay, they come down. You see, Indra, he poured down all that water in Vrindavan. He thought Krishna was just ordinary cowherd boy. Then, when Krishna lifted the Govardhan hill, then he understood, this boy is not ordinary. So Indra also, he's not ordinary demigod. Indra is a king of heaven. Even they get illusioned. Then, I'm sorry, understood Krishna's position. So, those who are pure, sometimes Krishna uses them to teach us, our ordinary devotees, that even pure devotees can get illusioned, that accept Krishna. There's no exceptions. Even pure devotees, they can. That's why I'm not saying like finding fault, but to Krishna sometimes use pure devotees that they can be illusioned, but that can be a lila sometime. Like Prabhupada had a business, family. What business Prabhupada, a cowherd boy, to do in the material world? But Krishna is showing them that even in that position, as a family man, he never forgot Krishna. Because he always in his heart, he was always pure. Even though he had a family, he had business, but he was always surrounded by Krishna consciousness and attitude. So us, we can have material things, but we're struggling to remember Krishna. You know, just like us, you have to have time to come to temple. And most of the time you're busy working, try to pay off this, that. So actually, for Krishna we have very little time. Even though, according to Shastra, purpose of human life is to only serve Krishna. Other things can be secondary. But the life is so much pressure on it that we don't have time. But then, when you get old, you think, oh, let me serve Krishna. But at young age, when we have our life is full of energy, we use for ourselves. And when you are supposed to use that energy for Krishna. And then when you don't have energy, you give to Krishna. Okay, your body is useless. So that's why you have to think in these terms. Yeah. Okay.
Thank you.
Anybody else? Thank you. Hare Krishna.
ग्रंथराज श्रीमद् भागवतम की जय, श्रील प्रभुपाद की जय, अनंत गुरु वैष्णव की जय।